I, 27 male, made some accidental good financial decisions years ago that today put me in the position where I can do mostly what I love. Mess with all kinds of electronics, play video games a lot, etc. I'm a huge nerd. I own a small electronics computer shop where I fix customers' devices, etc. I also sell general computer stuff and other small electronics. I live in the same building. I don't spend all my time in the shop. I have 2 workers who work in shifts, and I work when I feel like it or when they ask for help. I also replace them when they need a vacation or sick days. I have a sister Jane, 34, and she has 3 kids. Mary, a young female teen, Julia, a young female grammar schooler, and Jack, a male preschooler. And as I'm the only one with basically unlimited free time to watch the younger kids, Mary doesn't need to be watched anymore, but she often hangs out in my shop either way. I do it every time the kids are sick or my sister is on a business trip for her work. And after the global issue, kids are sent home for every tiny cough and sneeze. What happened? My grandmother had her 80th birthday and everyone was invited, even relatives I don't remember ever seeing before. My sister and I were sitting close to each other, and suddenly one older lady, who was maybe my grandmother's cousin or something, started to ask everyone what they do. I told her that I run a small business, and my sister out of nowhere, "Yeah, by running a business he means being very lazy and sleeping until noon, sometimes chilling out in the store and playing video games or watching movies all day while some of us had to work hard for their success." This is all technically true. At the same time, she studied her whole life. I went to trade school and got lucky with a few business decisions. Still, I felt kind of hurt that she forgot that for her to get all that education, others had to watch the kids, so I said, "Oh, don't forget that I'm also a full-time free babysitter," but I decided to quit and focus on being lazy. She didn't say anything more and didn't take me seriously either, as a week later, I got a phone call in the morning that Jack threw up at night a few times. She would bring him to my place and I said, "Don't you remember that I quit as I'm way too lazy to watch the kids?" and ended the call and went back to bed. When I woke up later, there were multiple messages from my sister telling me that I'm a selfish idiot and I act like I'm the center of the world. I replied politely, "Sorry you feel that way." Later, my mother called and told me that I put my sister in a really tough position as she, Mom, can't take days off from the hospital on such short notice either, and Jane has nobody to watch the kids. Am I the idiot for not watching them? I'm not hurt because of the truth. I know I'm lazy, but it hurts that she acts like watching her kids has been nothing. Edit. Where's the father of the children? The father of the oldest is nowhere to be found. The father of number 2 and 3 is a truck driver, so he's at home only on weekends and sometimes even every other weekend. Not the idiot. Your sister ruined a very good situation she had by crapping all over you in front of everyone for no good reason. Now she has to deal with the consequences of her own actions. The core issue here is the utter lack of respect. Don't back down or she will see that she can get away with anything. She will lose all respect for you and be more contemptuous of you than ever. Giving in would not result in you being more appreciated. It's sad, but that's the way it is. Your sister bit the hand that was helping her. Welcome to the consequences. She should have thought about that before deciding to unleash what she thinks of you. It's not your problem. Like the vast majority of other parents, she can hire a sitter. Too bad all her education and hard work didn't teach her not to look a gift horse in the mouth. I bet your sister never left money for their food either. Yep, your sister is jealous, working in what I bet is a demanding position in a demanding field, while OP has set himself up with a successful business that allows him to operate autonomously and with flexibility that allows him to take care of her kids on last-minute notice. OP is not lazy. Sis is just jealous and compares their situations and then wants to blame him, so now she loses out. I have a different take. OP, you are the idiot. I get why you're upset, but permanently destroying the relationship over a few comments seems extreme. Your sister resents that she has to work hard and manage kids while you got lucky and don't. Should she have sniped at you in front of others? No. The result is that nephews and nieces will now be the kids dosed with ibuprofen and sent to school sick because the parents simply cannot take off the kind of work that having multiple kids who may get sick requires. If they aren't actively puking, they'll have to go too. If your sister resented you before, this will be a whole new level. Can you do this? Yep, nothing is stopping you. Everyone will tell you you owe them nothing. Enjoy your extra free time and feeling of happiness over screwing someone over. I'm the dad of 2 teen boys. They're pretty lucky that our finished basement is their junior man cave. It's not my doing. The previous owner was a gym rat and really fixed it up. Besides their bedrooms, there's a little gym area with a couple of machines, free weights, and even the world's tiniest locker room with 3 lockers and a bench, etc. It opens into a large walk-in shower, a mini version of an actual locker room gang shower about 5 by 7 feet. The boys think this basement is their kingdom and they love it. So do their friends. When it comes to showering, it's not unusual for them to just leave the water running and jump in right after the other finishes. It's not even unusual for them to overlap. In fact, it's common if they're in a hurry to jump in simultaneously after a workout. It's a pretty normal gym atmosphere and a decent-sized shower with a couple of heads, not like a cozy bathtub shower or anything. Somehow, this setup was mentioned in front of my sister, taking a house tour for the first time recently, and she was appalled. Appalled? Taking a shower? At the same time? Together? She was positively incredulous. I told her it was no different than the boys showering at the gym or their sports locker rooms at school. Guys, especially athletes, take showers. Yes, together. Happens a million times a day. She said that was very, very inappropriate. I called her a wacko idiot and now she's not speaking to me or my wife. Not the idiot. If anything is inappropriate here, it's her for making a mundane non-issue into some creepy concern. That is indeed wacko behaviour. I wonder if she's uber religious. Good on you, OP. What could she think is so wrong? I mean, getting 2 teenage boys to take a shower in and of itself can be challenging, so I'd be happy if they were taking them as it is, whether separate or not. As far as sharing a shower together, they are close to the same age as brothers. Does she get all weirded out if 2 toddlers take a bath together? No. But your sister is the weird one here for being appalled. Does she also think it's weird at the gym or in a school locker room? If not, what's the difference? God forbid she hears about the showers in the military. Women's locker rooms are not set up like men's locker rooms, and there's a good chance she has no idea that men's locker rooms are much more communal than women's. When I was in high school, the guys' locker room was gang showers and had no doors on the toilet stalls, but the girls' locker had dozens of individual private shower stalls, so it's possible she just didn't realize what lockers are like for dudes. I say everyone's the idiot here. The fact she sees everything wrong with that and you calling her names is gross to me. My sister and her husband adopted a teen, Jake. He's cool, he has his issues, but he's a good kid. My sister decided to foster and adopt because she was told she couldn't have kids. I was a bit worried because she tends to be a bit naive, but she's doing pretty well. Jake seems to like her as well. Anyway, my sister managed to get pregnant and revealed she was 6 months along. We're all happy for her, but Jake's become a bit snappy. His attitude is understandable considering his background, and I'm sure he's just terrified. I figured my sister knew this and worked on it behind the scenes. Well, she called me in tears last night, saying that Jake came home high and started insulting her and the unborn baby. She then cried about how she didn't know why he was acting like this and that he broke her heart. I was sympathetic, but then I wondered, has she talked to him about any possible changes that might come with the baby? Has she reassured him or anything like that? I asked her this very gently and she went quiet. She then said, "Oh, oops, I'm an idiot. Of course, he's scared. That makes so much sense." I was a little shocked. I mean, she really didn't talk to him at all? She kind of laughed it off and said, "Dumb blonde moment, my bad." I don't know, but that rubbed me the wrong way, so I asked her if this was a joke to her. I then said, "I hope you know Jake isn't a doll you can throw away. He's your kid now. You can't have dumb blonde moments. And how on earth is this a silly my bad moment?" I won't deny that I sounded pretty snarky, but come on. She got upset and said that it was her first time being a parent and I couldn't blame her for making mistakes. She knows he's her kid and that'll never change, and that my implications are incredibly offensive. She then told me to try adopting a troubled teen with 0 prior experience and then insult her. I just hung up. I might have been a bit harsh because all parents make mistakes, but I feel like she should have known better just this one time. Still, she really does love that kid, and I know she feels bad. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. It's a perspective issue. Jake has instability, leading to trauma in his background. Of course he's freaked out. Your sister, however, knows she has no intention of abandoning him, and that the adoption made him a permanent part of her family. She was probably blind to his concern because she was blind to the idea of abandoning Jake. That's not the worst kind of mistake to make, and if she explains it that way to Jake, I think it'll go a long way to reassuring him about why the conversation didn't happen sooner. Disagree. Opie's not the idiot. Jake is beyond scared. He thinks that now they're having a bio kid and they want to get rid of him. So instead of waiting for the inevitable in his head, he will give them a reason to kick him out. He needs reassurance and therapy. Your sister's cavalier attitude makes it seem like she doesn't understand the depths of the problem. I don't know why everyone is acting like this is a silly mistake. It's genuinely common sense that a 15-year-old who was previously in the foster care system would have abandonment issues. She even acknowledges he's a troubled teen, so I don't understand what she thinks troubled even means, if she's so shocked that a kid she just adopted is reacting negatively to her being pregnant. Your sister should not have taken on a child like Jake if she was not prepared to do so, and she's not prepared if she didn't even think to discuss this with him. For Christ's sake, you discuss pregnancies with your small biological children to reassure them. You would have to be the world's biggest airhead not to know that. I mean, it's everywhere. Every childcare textbook, movie, and show about kids getting a younger sibling. There are even children's books about it. I'm honestly still astounded by how damn dense this is. I have to question if your sister loves this boy at all. I'm a male teen and my sister is 1 year younger. Our dad was married to my mom and he cheated on her while she was pregnant with me, and a few weeks after I was born he knocked up his now wife with my sister. My mom kicked him to the curb and I lived with her mostly and saw my dad every other weekend until I was 6. Then my mom died from complications from her asthma and I had to live with my dad. The reason I said dad in inverted commas is because he never really was one. Yeah, we lived with him for years, but he's never been active in my or my sister's life. Never showed up to anything or spent time with us. His wife was the one, and I hated her. After my mom died, she tried to call herself my mom, tried to insert herself into mom's funeral planning, and insisted on me not being named as her son in the obituary or anything. She and my grandparents and aunts and uncles fought until they kicked her out. She tried to get Dad to back her up and say she had the authority over me, but he did nothing. So I was with my grandparents for a few days, and by the time I returned, she told me she was my mom now, and I should have respected her more. I was very disrespectful to her for years. I know I was. I don't even feel bad about it. I made her life a nightmare and Dad was never around to do anything. She always made things worse too by insisting she was my mom. My sister hated me for treating her mom that way, and because she doesn't remember my mom or remember the times when I wasn't always there, she always refused to believe that I do, and she tells me her mom is my mom in all the ways that matter. She told me it was crazy how I made it seem like my mom did more than hers, or that I'm closer to my mom, who died before I could remember her, when her mom was always there. She also told me I should be glad I got to have a bigger family when my mom died. So my sister and I aren't close either. My sister's mom was diagnosed with a neurological disease in June. She's already struggling with some stuff and has regular medical appointments. Dad is gone all the time now. He hasn't helped his wife and isn't around for us, which isn't new. But he's also bringing less money home. My sister is upset about her mom taking her anger out on me. She's so disrespectful about my mom and has wished she could do stuff to her grave when she's trying to make me angry. But the other day she told me my mom was disgusting and ugly, that she'd been a lousy wife and mom, and that was why Dad chose her mom. She told me her mom was much better and I should be grateful for her and doing everything possible. She told me we had to take care of her now. I looked her in the eye and told her she was all alone in taking care of her mom because I hated her mom and would never help her. She got really upset, broke down crying and ran off to her room. Yesterday she told me I was such an idiot, that I was meant to be her brother and that I should love her enough to be better and support her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, and ask her if she's excited for the new mom she will get when hers dies. Based on how little her dad is home and how he's bringing home less money, I'd suggest she probably already has a new mom and possibly new siblings lined up. Oh, he's probably got another kid or at least knocked someone up. I'd ask your grandparents to get custody or just leave. Stepsis and her mom are trying to manipulate you, and you understood that a long time ago. She said her mom is sick. Let her guess how you felt when yours died. I need these comments to stop. People are forgetting that Opie is a teen child. He wrote about the problem he's having with his younger teen sister. Opie, I think you're focusing on the wrong issue. Your stepmother's health is failing. You, your sister, and your stepmother all need help. This is your father's responsibility. but he's even more distant than before. Please explain everything to a teacher or school counselor. Be sure to tell them that your father is not around. If you're in the US, they are mandatory reporters. Someone will have to look into it. You can probably go live with your grandparents, but someday you might feel bad about the situation this leaves your sister in. Unfortunately, telling an adult is the only thing you can do. So please do this, and then go on to live your best life knowing you did what you could. You are not the idiot, but neither is your sister. She was a child too. But wow, by the way your dad sucks the life out of these women, he is the idiot. My niece, pre-tween, always comments whenever I bring pizza to my sister's house. She will say things such as, "I don't eat that processed crap," and my sister never corrects her behavior. We've attended family functions and gatherings at her place a lot these past few months. I've asked my sister each time if it is fine, and she says yes. My son has lately picked up on these comments, and he asked me why she's saying it. I just told him she probably wanted to eat healthy since I didn't want to escalate the situation. A few days ago I bought pizza again, to which my niece made the same comments. My son this time said, "Don't eat it then, it's not for you anyway. You can go outside and eat leaves if you're so healthy." My son is the same age as my niece, his cousin. All the other kids started laughing and she started crying loudly. My sister sees this and takes her aside. After the function, my sister called me and asked my son to apologize. I tell her he doesn't need to apologize since her daughter has been making these comments and she's doing nothing about it. She says her daughter is just speaking her mind as a kid, to which I said that my son is doing the same thing and that she shouldn't make comments if she can't handle it coming back to her. My sister told my parents, who had also witnessed the situation, and my parents told her that she should correct her daughter's behavior. I will note that quite a few people noticed what my son said, with some even praising him like a hero. Some of my other cousins were calling him Little CEO and whatnot. Not the idiot. I don't think your son should apologize unless your niece apologizes, but it would help if you also let your son know that what he said wasn't a good way to handle it. But really, you should be wary of the people who were calling your son a hero and Little CEO, because that's a big red flag. Kids usually thrive in positive reinforcement. While I wouldn't call your son an idiot in this situation, he might try to fish for those compliments again by acting similarly when it's uncalled for. I'm more concerned about where your niece is picking up on this. My kid is almost 7 and she lives off pasta, tacos, cheese and yogurt, occasionally chicken nuggets. She has an idea about healthy and sometimes foods. Being into processed, not processed, and shaming other people for food choices speaks of problematic eating being modelled and future disordered eating. It's clearly from OP's sister, which is why she was so upset and why she never corrected the behaviour. Yes, I do feel the niece's mother is causing an unhealthy relationship with food in her younger daughter. It sucks terribly. 100% the sister wants OP to bring something healthier for dinner. But rather than just talking about it like an adult, she weaponizes her little girl. That poor girl was taught to bully and then bullied in return.